Hello, wonderful people. I hope you guys are all doing well. Before we start, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel if you like these kinds of videos. Also, let us know where are you guys listening us from. Okay then, let's begin. Batman, the Dark Knight, has always been a figure of strength, resilience, and justice. For decades, Gotham has relied on him as its protector, its symbol of hope in the face of chaos. Yet, in his endless battle against crime and corruption, has Batman ever considered that his greatest enemy might not be the criminals he faces in the shadows, but himself? Could it be that Batman's true foe lies within, rather than in the criminals who plague Gotham's streets? From the outside, Batman is seen as the epitome of control, discipline, and order. But beneath this tough exterior lies a man tortured by trauma, driven by guilt, and trapped by his own need for vengeance. In his pursuit of justice, has he become a victim of his own mind? The battle Batman wages against Gotham's villains is relentless, but what if the true battle is the one within himself? Could it be that Batman's greatest enemy is his own psyche, the unresolved trauma that shapes every decision he makes, the guilt he carries, and the obsessive need for control that drives him to extremes? Batman's origin, the trauma that defines him. At the core of Batman's identity is the trauma he endured as a young child, the murder of his parents in Crime Alley. This formative event is the source of his pain, and it becomes the driving force behind his crusade for justice. From that moment on, Bruce Wayne's life is defined by a singular mission to prevent others from experiencing the pain and loss he felt that night. The tragedy of his parents' death becomes the foundation of his life, shaping his motivations, his actions, and ultimately, his identity as Batman. But what if the trauma itself, rather than being a catalyst for justice, is actually the source of his greatest conflict? Batman's mission is fueled by his need for vengeance, to right the wrongs done to him as a child. In his mind, the only way to stop others from suffering is to impose his will on the world through force and fear. However, in the process, Batman becomes increasingly consumed by his trauma. His obsession with control, his refusal to let go of his grief, and his single-minded pursuit of justice begin to undermine the very thing he set out to achieve: healing and redemption, not just for Gotham, but for himself. Batman's refusal to address his inner turmoil leads to a never-ending cycle of violence and emotional suppression. He is trapped in the past, unable to move beyond the pain of his childhood. In his battle to protect Gotham, he ignores the fact that he has never allowed himself to heal from the wounds of his own trauma. The more he tries to impose order on the world, the more chaotic his own mind becomes. Batman's relentless pursuit of justice becomes not just a mission, but an unhealthy obsession. The psychological cost of Batman's crusade. Batman's emotional struggle is not just about fighting crime. It is about battling the demons within himself. His refusal to embrace vulnerability, his fear of becoming like the criminals he fights, and his inability to seek help all point to a deep internal conflict. Batman's trauma has manifested in his extreme behavior, his need for secrecy, and his unwillingness to let anyone into his world. His allies, Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, are all shut out, as Batman isolates himself from the very people who care about him. This self-imposed isolation creates a dangerous feedback loop, where his desire for control over his own emotions leads to further psychological and emotional damage. His inability to let go of the past, combined with his obsessive need for control, traps him in a cycle of self-doubt and self-punishment. Batman becomes a mirror image of the criminals he fights, only more insidious. His trauma manifests as a desire for power and dominance to create order where there is chaos. Yet, in doing so, Batman loses sight of the fact that true justice requires more than just punishment. It requires healing and reconciliation. The more Batman forces himself into the role of the Dark Protector, the more he risks losing his humanity. His obsession with Gotham's safety leads him to neglect his own emotional well-being. In his mind, he cannot afford to be vulnerable. He cannot allow himself to feel the pain of loss or the fear of failure. Yet, in this denial, Batman becomes his own worst enemy. His refusal to confront his trauma and seek healing makes it impossible for him to fully embrace the life he is trying to protect. The destructive nature of Batman's obsession with control. Control is one of the defining characteristics of Batman's personality. He is constantly in control of his environment, his emotions, and his actions. This need for control stems from his desire to never feel helpless again. His parents' death left him powerless, and he vowed never to allow that kind of weakness to infiltrate his life again. This desire for control manifests in Batman's perfectionism, his insistence on working alone, and his refusal to trust others. However, this obsession with control also has a darker side. Batman's need for dominance over every situation leads to a lack of trust in his allies. He isolates himself from the very people who could help him. He becomes so fixated on maintaining control over every aspect of his mission that he begins to sacrifice his relationships, his well-being, and ultimately, his own happiness. By seeking to control every outcome, Batman creates a self-imposed prison, one where he is trapped by his own need for perfection. His inability to delegate or trust others leads to burnout and frustration. His need for control is not just a tool for justice, it becomes a destructive force in his life. In trying to keep Gotham safe from external threats, Batman becomes increasingly consumed by his own internal struggles. His greatest enemy is not the criminals in Gotham, but the inner conflict that keeps him locked in a cycle of fear, guilt, and obsession. The villains as reflections of Batman's own struggles. What makes Batman's greatest enemy himself is not only his psychological battles, but the way Gotham's villains reflect his own inner turmoil. Each of Batman's greatest adversaries, the Joker, Two-Face, the Riddler, Scarecrow, is a distorted reflection of aspects of Batman's own psyche. The Joker, with his chaos and nihilism, embodies Batman's fear of losing control. Two-Face represents the duality within Batman, his struggle between light and dark, justice and vengeance. Scarecrow symbolizes Batman's deepest fears, the terror that he may never be able to escape his past. Each of these villains is a projection of Batman's unresolved internal conflicts. The Joker, in particular, is perhaps the most dangerous reflection of Batman's own struggles. The Joker represents Batman's fear of becoming unhinged, of losing control over his emotions and his mission. Batman's adherence to his moral code, particularly his refusal to kill, is a constant reminder of the line he must walk between justice and vengeance. The Joker's anarchic philosophy serves as a mirror to Batman's need for order, and the Joker's chaotic nature highlights the darker aspects of Batman's own psyche. The Joker, in many ways, is Batman's most significant adversary, because he embodies the very thing Batman fears most, that the Dark Knight may lose his humanity and become consumed by the same chaos he seeks to stop. The path to redemption. Batman steps internal battle. If Batman's true enemy is himself, then the path to redemption lies in self-awareness, healing, and reconciliation. Batman must confront his trauma, recognize the destructive nature of his obsession with control, and begin the process of healing. This journey is not easy, and it is not one that can be taken alone. Batman needs to understand that he is not defined by his past trauma, and that the only way forward is to acknowledge his fears, his guilt, and his pain. Batman's redemption lies in learning to trust others, not just as allies in his mission, but as individuals who can help him confront his own demons. He must understand that he does not have to bear the weight of Gotham alone, and that the city's healing is tied to his own. Only by confronting his internal struggles can Batman fully embrace the role of a protector who works not out of obsession but out of a deep and authentic commitment to justice and healing. Batman's true enemy is not the criminals of Gotham, but the unresolved trauma and emotional wounds that have driven him to become a figure of fear and vengeance. His greatest battle is not fought in the streets, but in his own mind, and only through self-awareness and healing can Batman hope to fully realize his potential as both a hero and a man. As Batman continues to grapple with the psychological warfare that he wages against himself, the complexity of his character and his mission grows. His crusade for justice, which was initially driven by his trauma, now seems to be more about confronting his own internal darkness than saving Gotham. But how can Batman truly heal if the fight is always external? How can he reconcile his relentless pursuit of justice with his own fractured identity? The key to understanding Batman's true enemy lies in the recognition that this battle, though fought in Gotham's streets, is rooted in his own fractured psyche. Batman's self-destructive nature. The cycle of isolation and obsession. One of the most profound aspects of Batman's character is his self-destructive nature, often driven by the emotional scars he refuses to face. His intense obsession with Gotham's safety, his refusal to allow anyone to get close, and his constant physical and mental strain all point to a man who is determined to protect others, but at the expense of his own well-being. This obsession with control, with never letting Gotham slip back into the chaos it once endured, is an endless loop. It's a cycle of self-imposed isolation that leaves him vulnerable, not to the physical dangers of Gotham, but to the psychological toll of carrying such an immense burden alone. Batman's isolation serves as both a coping mechanism and a trap. He pushes away those who care about him, Alfred, Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, out of fear that their involvement might distract him from his mission. But in reality, his isolation fuels his inner conflict, deepening his insecurities and fears. He distances himself from others because he is terrified of losing control, and in doing so, he becomes more and more detached from his humanity. The very people who could help him, offer him support, guidance, or companionship are the ones he shuts out in his relentless pursuit of perfection. This self-destructive cycle, in which Batman refuses to acknowledge his vulnerability and relies entirely on his obsessive discipline, ultimately becomes his undoing. He fights for justice, but in doing so, he sacrifices his own emotional health, his ability to heal, and the chance for redemption. Batman is not just fighting Gotham's villains, he is fighting his own need to protect himself from the very emotions that make him human. The role of Gotham Cip's villains mirrors of Batman Cip's inner turmoil. Gotham's most notorious villains, Joker, Two-Face, Scarecrow, and others, are not simply adversaries in Batman's quest for justice. They are embodiments of the very darkness that resides within him. Each villain represents a fragment of Batman's fractured psyche, reflecting his deepest fears, doubts, and obsessions. The villains are extensions of Batman's internal battles, providing a tangible manifestation of the chaos that exists within him. Take the Joker, for example. The Joker is the embodiment of Batman's fear of losing control. He is Batman's opposite, a chaotic force that thrives on anarchy and destruction, while Batman seeks order and justice. But the Joker's unpredictability also represents what Batman fears most: the possibility of his own descent into madness, a descent that would strip him of his moral compass and reduce him to the same chaos he strives to prevent. In this way, the Joker is not just a villain. He is the projection of Batman's fear of what might happen if he loses control over his own emotions, his mission, or his code. Similarly, Two-Face represents the duality within Batman himself, the conflict between his desire for order and his internal chaos. Two-Face's obsession with fate and chance mirrors Batman's own struggle to maintain control, and his moral ambiguity challenges Batman's black-and-white view of justice. Every time Batman faces Two-Face, he is confronted with his own internal moral dilemma. How far is too far? How much should he compromise his principles to achieve justice? The conflict between Batman and Two-Face is a manifestation of the internal war Batman fights daily, torn between the ideals of justice and the temptation of vengeance. Scarecrow, the master of fear, is another reflection of Batman's inner turmoil. Scarecrow uses fear to manipulate and control others, but it is Batman's own fear that Scarecrow feeds on. Batman's fear of failing Gotham, of being unable to protect the city, mirrors the fears Scarecrow exploits. The more Batman fights Scarecrow, the more he is forced to confront his own deepest anxieties, the fear that despite his best efforts, he will always fall short of his goal. These villains, and others, are not just obstacles for Batman to defeat. They are mirrors, reflecting the unresolved psychological battles Batman has yet to face. They are his internal struggles made manifest, and each encounter is a chance for Batman to confront a part of himself he has tried to suppress. But each victory over these villains is ultimately hollow if Batman does not address the root causes of his own internal conflict. Batman's journey to self-understanding, the road to healing. For Batman to truly overcome his greatest enemy himself, he must begin the difficult journey toward self-understanding and healing. This is not a path that can be walked alone. Batman must learn to trust those around him, to lean on his allies for support, and to confront the trauma that has defined him for so long. The battle against his own psyche is not one he can win through sheer force of will. It requires vulnerability, self-reflection, and acceptance of his own humanity. Batman's need for control must be balanced with an understanding that some things like grief, loss, and failure are beyond his control. His obsession with order and perfection is rooted in his inability to accept the inherent uncertainty and imperfection of life. True healing for Batman comes not from dominating every situation, but from learning to accept his own imperfections and the imperfections of the world around him. This journey to self-awareness and healing is not something that can be accomplished in a single moment. It is an ongoing process, one that will require Batman to face his own vulnerabilities and let go of the false belief that he must carry the weight of the world on his shoulders. Gotham needs him, yes, but Gotham also needs a Batman who is whole, who is capable of embracing his humanity, and who understands that true strength lies not in the ability to control, but in the ability to heal and grow. The path forward: reconciliation and redemption. Batman's redemption does not lie in defeating his enemies in the traditional sense, but in reconciling with himself. His journey toward healing is not a simple one. It is filled with moments of doubt, struggle, and failure. But it is also a journey that has the potential to lead to a deeper understanding of himself and his purpose. Batman's greatest victory, will be the one where he no longer fights alone, where he allows himself to heal, to connect with others, and to grow beyond the trauma that has defined him. It is not about abandoning his mission to protect Gotham, but about finding peace within himself so that he can be the hero Gotham truly needs. Not one defined by fear and control, but one driven by hope, compassion, and a deep commitment to justice. By confronting his inner darkness, Batman can finally emerge not as a figure trapped in his own psyche, but as a symbol of redemption, a hero who has conquered not just the villains of Gotham, but the darkness within himself. As Batman begins to confront the most challenging adversary of all, himself, he embarks on a path that will test his very core. The external battles he has fought in Gotham pale in comparison to the internal wars he must face now. His journey towards self-awareness and reconciliation is long, winding, and full of deep introspection. For Batman, redemption is not about becoming the perfect hero, it is about accepting the imperfections that make him human. The role of Gotham Sip's people in Batman Sip's healing process. While Batman has long carried the burden of protecting Gotham alone, his healing will ultimately depend on the very people he has spent years protecting. Throughout his career, Batman has isolated himself from others, convinced that no one else could carry the weight of his mission. His trauma has led him to build walls around himself, pushing away those who could help him. However, it is in allowing others in that Batman might finally begin to heal. The people of Gotham, his allies, his friends, and even the city's citizens are not mere bystanders in Batman's journey. They are key to his emotional recovery. His relationship with Alfred, in particular, provides a glimpse into what Batman needs to embrace: love, support, and compassion. Alfred has been Batman's moral compass, his confidant, and his protector. Yet even Alfred has not been able to fully reach Bruce Wayne, as Bruce constantly distances himself from any form of vulnerability. Batman's path to healing will require him to trust those around him, not just as allies in his fight for justice, but as people capable of helping him process his grief and trauma. Gotham's citizens have long relied on Batman to fix their problems, but now Batman must learn to rely on them, not just as subjects of his protection, but as partners in his own emotional healing. It is only when Batman accepts that he does not need to be alone in his fight, both for Gotham and for himself, that he will be able to move forward. Batman Sip's identity crisis, reconciling Bruce Wayne and Batman. At the heart of Batman's internal struggle lies the ongoing battle between his two identities, Bruce Wayne the man and Batman the hero. For much of his life, these two identities have been in conflict. Bruce Wayne is the vulnerable child, haunted by the death of his parents, while Batman is the symbol of justice, strength, and control. The two are inseparable, yet they cannot coexist without friction. Bruce Wayne's life is marked by his guilt over his parents' death, and his determination to protect others from suffering the same fate. Batman, however, is a creation born out of that guilt. He is the manifestation of Bruce's desire for justice, but also his need for vengeance. Over the years, Bruce has suppressed his humanity in favor of the Batman persona, viewing his own vulnerability as a weakness. He has made himself into something he believes can never be hurt again, but in doing so, he has detached himself from the very emotions that make him human. For Batman to heal, he must reconcile these two parts of himself. He must accept that Bruce Wayne and Batman are not mutually exclusive. They are two sides of the same coin. Bruce must learn to embrace his humanity again, his capacity for love, pain, and fear, without letting these emotions overpower the sense of justice that drives Batman. Only by accepting his vulnerability and his grief can Bruce Wayne become the whole person he was meant to be. The key to Batman's redemption lies in reconciling his need for vengeance with his ability to love and care for others. Letting go of control, the importance of trusting others. One of Batman's most significant obstacles in his journey of healing is his need for control. This obsession stems from his fear of losing everything, as he did when he lost his parents. In his mind, the only way to protect Gotham is to control every situation, every outcome. He has made himself a solitary figure, a beacon of justice in the darkness, because he believes that trusting anyone else is a risk he cannot afford. Yet this need for control is ultimately self-destructive. Batman's refusal to trust others, to lean on his allies and mentors, has isolated him in ways that prevent him from healing. The more Batman tries to control Gotham's fate, the more he denies his own humanity. This denial is the root of his pain, and it keeps him locked in an unending battle that he cannot win alone. Batman's healing journey involves letting go of his need for control and learning to trust others, not just his allies like Robin, Nightwing, or Batgirl, but also the people of Gotham. They, too, have a role to play in the city's healing. Batman must accept that he cannot fix Gotham on his own. He must trust in the collective strength of Gotham's citizens to contribute to the city's future, just as he must trust in the people around him to help him through his darkest moments. This trust is what will ultimately allow Batman to let go of his need for dominance and control, and in doing so, free himself from the emotional chains that have bound him for so long. Healing through connection. Batman's steps transformation. Batman's true transformation comes when he realizes that healing does not come from defeating external enemies, but from confronting his own inner demons. The city of Gotham has already begun its own journey of healing, and Batman as its symbol of hope must follow suit. But for Batman to fully heal, he must not only reconcile with the city, but also with himself. He must forgive himself for the trauma he has inflicted upon himself by denying his own emotions, his own needs, and his own humanity. This transformation is not easy, and it will not happen overnight. Batman's path to self-acceptance and healing will be filled with setbacks, doubts, and struggles. But it is also a path that holds the promise of redemption, not just for Gotham, but for Bruce Wayne himself. By confronting his trauma, by letting go of his obsession with control, and by learning to trust others, Batman can begin to move beyond his self-imposed isolation. The journey of healing for Batman is one of self-awareness and growth. It requires him to embrace vulnerability, face the pain he has long buried, and allow himself to be human again. As Batman works through these challenges, he can truly become the hero Gotham needs, not a symbol of perfection and unyielding strength, but a symbol of resilience, hope, and the ability to rise above personal darkness. A new era for Batman and Gotham. Batman's struggle is one that is shared by many, not just in Gotham but in the world at large. It is a reminder that even the strongest individuals carry unseen wounds, and that true healing comes from within. Gotham, having learned from Batman's journey, must also evolve in its own approach to healing, embracing not just physical justice, but emotional and psychological growth for all its citizens. For Batman, this marks the beginning of a new chapter. No longer defined solely by his quest for justice through vengeance, he becomes a symbol of hope, not just because of his ability to fight crime, but because of his ability to heal and grow. Gotham's true protector is not the perfect, unflinching Dark Knight, but the one who has learned to embrace both his strengths and his weaknesses, and who understands that true power lies in reconciliation, not in control, but in connection. as Batman steps into this new chapter of his life. One of self-reflection and healing, his journey takes on a deeper and more personal significance. This is no longer about saving Gotham from the physical threats that exist on the streets. It is about saving himself from the psychological burdens that have weighed him down for so long. The truth is, Batman's struggle is one that many can relate to. Learning to reconcile one's past, acknowledging one's flaws, and understanding that true growth comes from embracing one's humanity. Gotham Sip's role in Batman Sip's healing, the city as a mirror of his growth. As much as Batman needs to confront his own inner turmoil, the city he protects, Gotham, also plays an integral role in his healing. Gotham, like Batman, has been defined by trauma, corruption, and pain. Yet, just as Batman has the potential to evolve beyond his own past, so does the city. Gotham's recovery is intertwined with Batman's growth. In a sense, the city reflects his inner struggles, its crime, its corruption, its people lost in the chaos mirror Batman's own emotional and psychological confusion. For Batman, the city represents his lifelong mission, but it also represents the darkness that he has carried with him since childhood. In healing Gotham, he is also healing himself. Each time Batman reaches out to save someone, whether they be a citizen of Gotham or one of his own allies, he is making progress in his own journey of self-discovery. Gotham's gradual shift from a broken, chaotic city to one of hope and opportunity parallels Batman's personal transformation from a man consumed by fear and vengeance to one who seeks true justice, founded on healing rather than retribution. However, Gotham's evolution is not without challenges. The city's deep-seated issues of corruption, poverty, and violence cannot be solved in a short span of time. Batman must accept that Gotham's recovery, like his own, is a long-term process, one that requires patience, trust, and consistent effort. It will take the collective will of Gotham's citizens, the new generation of heroes, and the city's leaders to bring about this change. Batman's role is not to control the outcome, but to be an active participant in the city's healing process, just as Gotham has been a part of his own journey of self-acceptance. Batman Sip's relationships, trusting others and embracing vulnerability. Throughout his career, Batman has been a solitary figure. He has fought alone, isolated himself emotionally from others, and kept his deepest fears and vulnerabilities hidden. His greatest challenge has always been his inability to trust others, whether it's his allies, the people he fights for, or even himself. The fear of losing control, of becoming vulnerable, has been a constant barrier in his relationships. For Batman to continue his journey of self-healing, he must learn the value of connection. He must recognize that trust is not a weakness, but a strength. In allowing others into his life, whether it's his surrogate family like Alfred, Robin, Nightwing, or Batgirl, Batman can begin to heal from the isolation that has defined much of his existence. The people who surround Batman are his emotional anchors, providing him with love, compassion, and understanding, things he has denied himself for far too long. These relationships are not distractions from his mission. They are integral to his growth as a person and as a hero. Each moment that Batman allows himself to be vulnerable with those he trusts is a step toward healing the wounds that have shaped his identity. He learns that he does not have to fight alone, and that in trusting others, he can achieve more than he ever could on his own. Confronting the fear of his own humanity. The most profound aspect of Batman's healing journey is his acceptance of his own humanity. For years, Batman has fought to suppress his emotions, his grief, and his vulnerability. He has told himself that to be a hero, he must be a symbol of strength and control. someone who can rise above the human limitations that make him susceptible to pain. But in this pursuit, Batman has denied the very aspects of himself that make him human, the ability to feel, to love, to grieve, and to experience joy. In order to heal, Batman must embrace the truth that being human is not a weakness. It is this humanity that makes him relatable, that makes him a symbol of hope for Gotham's citizens. His flaws, his doubts, and his emotional struggles do not detract from his role as a protector. They make him stronger. Only by accepting his humanity can Batman move beyond the guilt and pain that have defined him for so long. By embracing vulnerability, Batman will not lose his strength. He will gain it. He will learn that true courage comes not from the absence of fear, but from the willingness to face it head-on. In allowing himself to grieve the loss of his parents, in acknowledging his fear of failure, and in confronting the demons of his past, Batman will free himself from the self-imposed prison of emotional repression. Only then can he become the hero Gotham needs, a hero who fights not out of fear or vengeance, but out of a deep and unwavering commitment to justice, compassion, and hope. The future of Batman, a symbol of resilience and redemption. Batman's journey is one of continuous evolution. His path toward healing is not a linear one. It is filled with setbacks, challenges, and moments of self-doubt. But with each step, he comes closer to finding peace, not just for Gotham, but for himself. The hero who once fought solely out of guilt and vengeance has the potential to become a symbol of redemption, a living testament to the power of resilience, growth, and self-acceptance. The future of Batman lies in his ability to heal not just the city he protects, but also the emotional wounds that have shaped him. Batman's true strength comes not from his ability to fight crime, but from his ability to face his own fears and grow beyond them. Gotham needs Batman, but Gotham also needs a Batman who is whole, someone who has learned to balance justice with compassion, strength with vulnerability, and control with trust. As Gotham continues to heal, Batman must evolve with it. He must become not just a symbol of justice, but a beacon of hope for those who are struggling with their own internal battles. Batman's journey is ongoing, but the progress he has made shows that true healing is possible, not just for a city but for a person, no matter how broken they may feel. As Batman's personal journey of growth and healing continues, the broader implications of his transformation extend beyond just his relationship with Gotham. His struggle, while deeply personal, resonates with the city and its inhabitants, as Gotham's healing is intrinsically tied to Batman's own emotional and psychological recovery. The city, once a reflection of Batman's internal darkness, now stands as a testament to the potential for growth and change. But as Batman moves forward in his healing, it is not just his personal growth that matters. It is how that growth translates into his role as the protector of Gotham and a symbol of hope for the world. The city is a catalyst for Batman Sep's final transformation. The deep connection between Batman and Gotham serves as the catalyst for both his personal healing and the city's recovery. In many ways, Gotham has been as much a prisoner of its darkness as Batman has been of his past trauma. The city's suffering, its crime-ridden streets, and the cycles of violence and corruption are all reflective of Batman's emotional turmoil. His constant battle to save Gotham from external threats mirrors his internal struggle to escape the psychological cage he has created for himself. As Gotham begins to heal, it forces Batman to reckon with his own healing process. The city's progress becomes the backdrop against which Batman's redemption is played out. Every step Gotham takes toward recovery pushes Batman to reevaluate his role in its future, not as the sole protector, but as a symbol of what can be achieved through transformation. Gotham's shift from a place of fear to one of hope directly impacts Batman's understanding of justice, his need for control, and his ability to trust others. For Batman, the city's recovery is proof that change is possible even in the most hopeless of circumstances. Just as Gotham has faced its darkness and is striving to overcome it, Batman must now face the same darkness within himself. But unlike the relentless pursuit of justice that once consumed him, this healing process is about patience, trust, and the recognition that transformation is gradual. Batman cannot save Gotham alone. The city's healing must be a shared effort, just as his own healing requires the support of others. New relationships, building bonds, and learning to trust. Batman's path to healing is intricately tied to his ability to build new relationships, not only as Batman, but as Bruce Wayne. His interactions with others, from his trusted allies like Robin and Nightwing to his longtime mentor Alfred, are no longer viewed as burdens or distractions. For Batman to become a fully realized hero, he must stop seeing these relationships as weaknesses and start understanding them as sources of strength. The relationships he has built with his allies in the Bat family provide the foundation for a new understanding of heroism. These bonds are not defined by fear or control, but by mutual respect and shared goals. For Batman, learning to trust and rely on others is perhaps the most significant step in his emotional journey. He must allow himself to lean on those who have supported him through thick and thin, recognizing that true strength comes from collaboration, not isolation. Furthermore, Batman's relationship with Gotham itself must evolve. For so long, Batman viewed Gotham as something to protect, something to fix. But the city is not just a backdrop for Batman's personal mission. Gotham is a living entity, full of people who are capable of taking part in their own recovery. Batman must learn to trust in Gotham's ability to heal itself and understand that his role is not to control the city, but to guide it towards self-sufficiency and justice. This shift in perspective is crucial for Batman's own growth. The role of Batman's legacy, a symbol of hope, not perfection. Throughout his career, Batman has been a symbol of perfection, an unyielding force that fought for justice without compromise. But this very perfection has become a burden both for Gotham and for himself. Batman's unwavering commitment to justice, his refusal to falter, has often made him isolated and distant to truly heal. Batman must allow his legacy to evolve from one of perfection to one of hope. Batman's legacy is not about being flawless. It is about the willingness to rise, to try again, and to learn from one's mistakes. His journey toward healing teaches Gotham and the world that being a hero is not about being infallible, but about having the strength to face your demons, learn from your past, and keep fighting for what's right. His redemption comes not from defeating his villains, but from understanding that his struggles, his pain, and his growth make him the symbol of resilience and hope that Gotham desperately needs. By embracing his humanity, Batman can reshape his legacy. His journey of healing becomes a model for others, showing that even those who have suffered deeply can find a path to redemption. Gotham, too, learns from Batman's transformation. The city's residents, once distrustful of their own capacity for change, begin to believe that they too can rise above their pasts, heal from their traumas, and build a better future. A future beyond Gotham. Batman SEP's global influence. As Batman heals, his influence extends beyond Gotham's borders. His journey is not only important for Gotham, but also for the larger world that watches him. In a world increasingly defined by complexity and uncertainty, Batman's evolution from a symbol of fear and control to a symbol of hope and reconciliation serves as a beacon for others. His struggle is not unique to Gotham. It is a reflection of the challenges faced by individuals and societies around the world. Batman's story becomes a lesson in resilience for other cities, other heroes, and other individuals struggling with their own personal battles. His ability to move beyond his trauma and accept his imperfections speaks to a universal truth that healing is possible, no matter the depth of the wounds. By embracing his vulnerability, Batman teaches others the power of emotional strength and the importance of reconciliation. Gotham may have been Batman's primary battleground, but the lessons he learns in his journey of healing have global implications. His story becomes one of global hope, a reminder that even in the face of darkness, redemption is possible. Batman's role as a protector evolves into that of a mentor, someone who not only guards the city but helps others understand the power of healing and growth. Batman sips ongoing legacy, the hero within. Ultimately, Batman's greatest victory is not defeating Gotham's villains or achieving an idealized version of justice. His greatest victory is the internal victory, his ability to understand, accept, and heal himself. The true hero within Batman is not the one who fights on the front lines, but the one who confronts his inner darkness, embraces his flaws, and seeks redemption not just for Gotham, but for himself. Batman's legacy then becomes something much greater than just his actions as a crime fighter. It becomes a symbol of the power of self-reflection, of growth, and of the unwavering commitment to healing. His journey is an ongoing one that will continue as long as Gotham needs him, but it is also a journey that transcends Gotham, offering hope to all those who struggle with their own battles, both external and internal. As Batman continues to evolve, his understanding of heroism shifts. It's no longer just about defeating villains or imposing his will on the city. It's about fostering growth, supporting others, and ultimately becoming a reflection of the very hope he has always fought to protect. Gotham, as well as the world beyond, starts to see a new Batman, one who is reconciled with his past and is now focused on creating a future that is built on collaboration, healing, and shared responsibility. Batman sits role in the new era of heroes, guiding the next generation. The time has come for Batman to pass on his wisdom and lessons to the next generation of heroes. No longer the lone figure in the shadows, Batman begins to mentor Gotham's new protectors, guiding them in their own journeys of justice and personal growth. This shift is vital, not just for Gotham's future, but for Batman's own redemption. By embracing the role of a mentor, Batman moves beyond his isolation and begins to build the trust and connections that have been missing from his life for so long. The young heroes in Gotham, such as Nightwing, Batgirl, and Robin, represent not just Batman's legacy, but his future. They are the embodiment of the lessons Batman has learned, lessons about the importance of teamwork, the power of trust, and the understanding that justice is a collective effort, not an individual crusade. As Batman teaches them the intricacies of being a hero, he also learns from them, realizing that there is more than one way to achieve justice, and that healing comes not only from action, but from connection with others. Batman's mentorship role also allows him to rediscover his purpose. It's no longer about fighting alone in the shadows, but about fostering a community of heroes who will carry on his mission in their own unique ways. The future of Gotham and the world depends on this next generation of heroes, and Batman understands that his role is to guide them, not to control them. This shift in perspective is essential for Batman's own emotional healing and growth, as it allows him to let go of the need to shoulder the entire burden of justice. Gotham Sips, Future Beyond Batman, a city of justice and healing. As Gotham continues to evolve, its future becomes increasingly independent of Batman's shadow. While he remains a symbol of hope and justice, Gotham must now forge its own path. The city has begun to heal, with its citizens taking responsibility for their own future. The battle for Gotham's soul is no longer solely fought in the streets, but in the hearts and minds of its people. Gotham's transformation is evident in its growing sense of community and social justice. The city's leaders, once corrupt and self-serving, are now more accountable to the people they serve. Social programs, public health initiatives, and community-driven reforms are flourishing, helping to build a stronger, more inclusive city. Gotham has moved beyond the point where it needs a solitary hero to protect it. It is now a place where people work together for the common good, with Batman's legacy serving as the foundation for this collective effort. The city's ongoing transformation is mirrored in Batman's own journey. Gotham is no longer just a city to be saved. It is a city that has learned to heal itself. Batman's role is no longer one of a solitary protector, but of a mentor and guide, helping Gotham's citizens become the architects of their own future. This is the ultimate form of heroism, not saving Gotham from its problems, but empowering its people to solve them themselves. Healing Gotham. The long-term impact of Batman's legacy. As Batman heals, so too does Gotham. The city's recovery from its history of violence, corruption, and despair is not just a short-term shift, but a long-term transformation. The deep-seated issues that once plagued the city are gradually addressed, and Gotham's residents begin to rebuild their communities from the ground up. The legacy of Batman's dedication to justice is woven into the fabric of Gotham's institutions, ensuring that future generations will continue to fight for a better, more just city. However, Gotham's recovery is not a finished project. It will continue to require the efforts of its heroes, leaders, and citizens. The lessons learned from Batman's journey about resilience, hope, and the power of connection serve as a blueprint for Gotham's ongoing growth. As the city strengthens its foundations and deepens its commitment to justice, Batman's legacy will continue to guide it, reminding Gotham's people that healing is a continuous process that requires collective effort and unwavering dedication. While Batman's personal healing is a testament to the power of growth and reconciliation, it is also a reminder that Gotham, like every city, is a work in progress. The fight for justice is never truly over. It is a journey, not a destination, and Gotham must remain vigilant in its efforts to ensure that the progress it has made is not undone. Batman's legacy will always be tied to this journey, a legacy that is about more than just crime fighting, but about creating a city that is fair, just, and whole. The global legacy. Batman sits influence on a wider world. As Gotham moves forward, Batman's influence begins to extend beyond the city. His journey of healing, mentorship, and justice becomes a model for cities around the world. Gotham, once known as a place of chaos and crime, now stands as a symbol of what is possible when communities come together to rebuild and transform. The lessons Batman has learned and the ways in which he has applied them to Gotham can serve as a guide for other cities grappling with their own challenges. From addressing systemic inequality to fostering collaboration between diverse communities, Gotham's recovery offers a blueprint for global urban transformation. Batman's legacy, now intertwined with Gotham's, is a reminder that even the most broken systems can be reformed through persistence, compassion, and the belief that change is possible. Batman's influence, as a figure who has transformed both Gotham and himself, becomes a global beacon of hope. His story is not one of solitary heroism, but of redemption and growth. A story that shows that anyone, no matter how broken or flawed, can rise to become a force for good in the world. Gotham's journey, and Batman's role in it, serves as a powerful reminder that the fight for justice is not only external but also internal, and it is only through facing our own demons that we can truly transform the world around us. As Batman's journey continues, both he and Gotham must face new horizons, ones that will demand further evolution, deeper understanding, and continued collaboration. While Batman's role in Gotham's transformation has been monumental, the city's growth now lies in the hands of its people and the heroes that continue to emerge from its shadows. The work Batman began will never be completed by one man, no matter how iconic. Instead, Gotham's ultimate healing depends on the collective actions of its citizens, leaders, and future protectors. Gotham SIP's legacy, empowering its people to lead. For Gotham to truly become the city Batman envisioned, a place of justice, hope, and opportunity, its citizens must take ownership of their future. Gotham's progress, though heavily influenced by Batman's actions, now requires a more democratic approach. The city must shift away from its dependence on a singular hero to solve its problems, and instead rely on the collective strength of its communities. The heroes that Batman has mentored, including Nightwing, Batgirl, and Robin, will play pivotal roles in this transformation. Their mission is no longer merely to follow in Batman's footsteps, but to forge their own paths as leaders, innovators, and community builders. These heroes are not only tasked with defending Gotham from external threats, but with helping to foster the social, economic, and cultural growth that will secure Gotham's future. They represent the next phase in the city's evolution, one where the line between heroism and community service blurs, and every citizen becomes part of the ongoing fight for justice. As Gotham continues to recover, there must be a commitment to creating lasting institutions of justice that go beyond law enforcement. Community-driven initiatives, education programs, mental health services, and environmental reforms must all be part of Gotham's long-term strategy for healing. Gotham cannot remain dependent on Batman as a solitary symbol of hope. It must become a place where every individual is empowered to contribute to the city's future, where justice is not only something Batman enforces, but something that is actively created by the people themselves. The challenges ahead: global issues and Gotham SIP's role. While Gotham's internal transformation is crucial, the city must also adapt to global challenges that extend beyond its borders. Issues like climate change, political instability, and technological disruption will require Gotham to collaborate with other cities and nations. Batman, who has long been concerned with Gotham's immediate survival, must now understand that the world is interconnected. The problems that Gotham faces do not exist in isolation, and Gotham's role as a global leader will depend on its ability to adapt and innovate in response to worldwide challenges. This means that Gotham's leaders, whether they are political figures, community organizers, or heroes, must be equipped with the knowledge, skills, and resources to address global issues. Gotham's tech industry, which has grown substantially in recent years, could lead the way in developing sustainable technologies, advancing climate action, and creating solutions for international conflicts. Batman's legacy of innovation and resilience could help guide Gotham as it strengthens its role on the world stage, offering its knowledge and expertise to cities grappling with similar problems. Batman's own evolution plays a significant role here. He must see his role not just as the protector of Gotham, but as someone who can guide the city toward a more connected and responsible future. As a global leader, Gotham must prioritize environmental sustainability, ethical use of technology, and international collaboration. Batman's journey, from isolation to connection, mirrors the journey Gotham itself must take, moving from a city focused on local struggles to one that sees its role in the larger world. Mental health and social healing. Gotham SIP's true recovery. One of the most profound aspects of Gotham's transformation is its focus on mental health and social healing. Gotham's citizens have long lived under the shadow of fear, violence, and trauma, and their recovery must be addressed at the societal level. Batman's own struggle with trauma and isolation offers a model for how Gotham can begin to heal collectively. Mental health services must become a cornerstone of Gotham's recovery. Access to therapy, support groups, and resources for those struggling with trauma must be made available to all residents, not just those who have committed crimes. The trauma that Batman himself carried for years, his inability to process grief, guilt, and loss, reflects a larger societal issue in Gotham. By addressing mental health holistically, Gotham can create a healthier, more resilient populace. Social services, including rehabilitation programs for offenders, are key to breaking the cycle of crime and violence that has plagued Gotham for so long. True justice in Gotham must be restorative, not just punitive. Batman's own experiences with criminals like the Joker and Two-Face illustrate the need for a justice system that seeks to heal, not just to punish. In embracing restorative justice, Gotham can begin to address the root causes of crime, poverty, inequality, and mental health issues, rather than simply reacting to the symptoms. The role of technology and innovation in Gotham SIP's future. Gotham's future will also be shaped by its commitment to innovation and the ethical use of technology. While technology has been an essential tool for Batman in his war on crime, Gotham must now ensure that technology is used for the greater good, both within its borders and beyond. The rise of artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and sustainable technologies presents both opportunities and risks. Gotham must take the lead in creating ethical frameworks for the use of these technologies, ensuring that innovation serves the people and does not perpetuate inequality or injustice. Gotham's technology sector, once a source of corruption and corporate greed, has the potential to become a force for good. By fostering collaboration between tech companies, universities, and community organizations, Gotham can become a global leader in developing technologies that address climate change, enhance social welfare, and create sustainable urban infrastructure. Batman's legacy of using technology for justice can serve as the foundation for a new era of innovation that prioritizes the needs of Gotham's people. Moreover, Gotham must invest in education and skills development to prepare its citizens for a rapidly changing technological landscape. The city's youth must be equipped with the knowledge and resources to thrive in a world dominated by technological advancements. Gotham's recovery depends not only on healing the wounds of its past, but on ensuring that its future is bright and filled with opportunity. Gotham SIP's ultimate transformation from fear to hope. The ultimate transformation of Gotham is not just about the city's physical recovery from crime and corruption. It is about the change in its very spirit. Gotham must move from being a city defined by fear, chaos, and trauma to a city defined by hope, opportunity, and unity. This transformation will require the combined efforts of its citizens, its leaders, and its heroes. Gotham's future is one of shared responsibility, where every individual plays a role in building a more just and equitable society. Batman's evolution from a solitary figure consumed by his past to a mentor and guide for the next generation of heroes is a reflection of Gotham's own journey. No longer a city defined by its need for a protector, Gotham becomes a place where every citizen is empowered to contribute to the city's growth and healing. Batman's legacy is one of resilience, hope, and transformation, a reminder that even the most broken places can heal through collective action, understanding, and the will to move forward. Gotham's future is bright, and while Batman will always remain a symbol of justice and hope, his role has evolved. He is no longer just the city's protector. He is its mentor, guiding the next generation of leaders and heroes. Gotham's healing and growth are no longer dependent on one man, but on the collective efforts of its people, who now understand that true justice and peace come from within. As Gotham's future unfolds, it becomes clear that its transformation is not just about healing the wounds of the past, but preparing for the challenges of the future. With each new step forward, Gotham must not only address the remnants of its darker days, but also rise to meet the complexities of an ever-changing world. For Batman, this means embracing his legacy as a mentor, guiding Gotham's next generation of heroes, and ensuring that the lessons learned from the past are applied to the city's growth. Gotham sips evolution beyond Batman, establishing new systems of justice. Gotham's evolution will depend on the establishment of new systems of justice, ones that transcend the vigilante approach Batman employed for years. While Batman's fight against crime was undeniably heroic, it often relied on fear, intimidation, and extrajudicial actions. As Gotham grows, it must develop a justice system that reflects the values of fairness, accountability, and rehabilitation, while ensuring the safety and well-being of all its citizens. This transformation will require substantial reforms in Gotham's legal and law enforcement institutions. The city's police force, which has long been riddled with corruption and inefficiency, must undergo a complete overhaul. Gotham needs a police force that works in close collaboration with the communities they serve, that focuses on de-escalation tactics, and that is committed to serving the public interest rather than personal gain. The city must also create strong civilian oversight committees to hold law enforcement accountable for their actions. Additionally, Gotham must focus on restorative justice practices, emphasizing rehabilitation over punishment. Programs for offenders that focus on mental health, education, and community reintegration will help break the cycle of violence that has plagued the city for so long. By addressing the root causes of crime, poverty, inequality, and trauma, Gotham can reduce recidivism and create safer communities. This new approach to justice will be integral to Batman's legacy. Rather than taking the law into his own hands, Batman's influence will guide the city toward a more compassionate, rehabilitative, and just system. Gotham's future will rely on its ability to balance public safety with the rights and dignity of its people. Building a Gotham for the future, investing in education and infrastructure. A city's true strength lies not just in its ability to protect itself, but in the opportunity it provides for its citizens to thrive. As Gotham moves forward, its leaders must prioritize investments in education, infrastructure, and social services to create a strong, equitable foundation for the city's future. Gotham must become a city where every individual, regardless of their background, has access to the tools and resources necessary to succeed. Education will play a central role in this transformation. Gotham's schools must be equipped with the resources to prepare the next generation of citizens for a rapidly changing world. The curriculum must focus not only on traditional subjects, but also on the skills needed for the modern economy, technology, innovation, environmental sustainability, and social justice. Additionally, community-based education programs for adults must be implemented to ensure that individuals who were previously left behind can access new opportunities for employment and personal growth. Gotham's infrastructure must also be reimagined. The city must invest in sustainable smart technologies that promote environmental conservation and reduce the city's carbon footprint. Green buildings, public transportation systems, and energy-efficient practices must be integrated into every aspect of Gotham's design. The city must become a leader in environmental sustainability, setting an example for other urban centers to follow. By investing in education and infrastructure, Gotham will not only create a more livable and equitable city, but also lay the foundation for a future where justice and opportunity are accessible to all. Gotham SEP's global role, becoming a model for change. As Gotham emerges from its troubled past, its influence will begin to extend beyond its borders. The lessons learned in the city's recovery about justice, social equity, and community building can serve as a model for other cities around the world grappling with similar issues. Gotham's transformation into a city that embraces innovation, social justice, and sustainability will make it a leader on the global stage. Gotham's role in global diplomacy, particularly in issues related to environmental sustainability, social justice, and international peacekeeping, will grow. Gotham's commitment to these causes, combined with its reputation for overcoming adversity, makes it a natural ally in the fight for global change. Batman's legacy of innovation, leadership, and hope can guide Gotham's approach to global challenges, positioning the city as a beacon of resilience for others to follow. Gotham must also play a central role in global discussions on the ethical use of technology. With its growing tech sector, Gotham can lead the way in developing solutions for global challenges like cybersecurity, climate change, and resource management. By leading with integrity and compassion, Gotham can become a global hub for collaboration and progress, showing that cities can be centers of innovation and justice. Gotham SIP's ultimate transformation, a city defined by resilience and unity. As Gotham continues to heal and evolve, it becomes a city not defined by its past, but by the resilience and unity of its people. The Gotham of the future is one where every citizen plays a role in shaping the city's destiny, a city where collaboration, trust, and justice are the guiding principles. Gotham's future is no longer solely reliant on the figure of Batman, but on the collective strength of its residents, heroes, and leaders. Batman's role will shift from being the city's protector to being a symbol of hope and a mentor to the next generation of leaders. His legacy will endure, not through his direct actions, but through the values he instilled in Gotham's people, the belief that even the darkest cities can heal, grow, and thrive when people work together. Gotham will no longer be a city defined by fear and crime, but one defined by justice, opportunity, and hope. Ultimately, Gotham's future is not about any one person or hero. It is about a collective vision of a better, more just society. As Gotham continues to grow, its people will show the world that the power to change is within us all. Gotham, once a city of brokenness, will become a city of possibility, an example of what can be achieved when individuals come together with a shared commitment to justice, healing, and growth. As Gotham stands on the precipice of its future, it becomes increasingly evident that the city's transformation is not just about infrastructure, justice, or innovation. It is about its soul. Gotham's future depends on its people embracing their shared responsibility for the city's success. The work that Batman started by fighting crime and instilling a sense of hope must now evolve into a more collaborative effort, where every citizen plays an active role in shaping the future. As Batman steps back from his role as Gotham's sole protector, the responsibility to guide the city forward falls to the next generation of leaders, heroes, community activists, politicians, and ordinary citizens alike. The rise of new leadership, empowering Gotham's people. While Batman has long been the symbol of Gotham's strength, his future role is not to dominate the narrative, but to encourage the rise of new leadership from within the city. Gotham's healing cannot continue on the back of one individual. It must become a community-driven effort, led by people who are committed to justice, equality, and collaboration. The city must empower its youth, its marginalized communities, and its innovative thinkers to step up and lead. New leaders will emerge in every sector: political, social, economic, and cultural. These leaders, who may not wear masks or capes, will be the ones to drive Gotham forward, working together to continue the fight for equality and justice. Batman's role as a mentor becomes crucial in helping these leaders understand the importance of empathy, collaboration, and shared responsibility. He can offer wisdom, but the ultimate transformation will come from Gotham's people, who will learn to lead the city from within, drawing on the lessons of the past while forging a new path. For Gotham to thrive, the people must take ownership of their city's destiny. Batman's legacy of inspiring courage and standing against injustice can be a guiding force, but it is the collective will of the people that will define Gotham's future. A city of hope, Gotham as a global example. With its transformation well underway, Gotham is poised to become a model for cities around the world. No longer seen as a place of despair and crime, Gotham's story of recovery will resonate globally as an example of what can be achieved when a city, a community, and its leaders come together to heal and rebuild. Gotham's success will not only inspire other cities struggling with similar issues, but it will also provide a blueprint for urban recovery that focuses on sustainability, social justice, and collective action. As Gotham becomes a leader in sustainable technology, social reform, and mental health initiatives, its influence will extend far beyond its borders. Gotham's approach to crime prevention, rehabilitation, and community building could become a model for other urban centers looking to overcome systemic issues. Gotham's ability to transform from a city defined by corruption and fear to one defined by justice and opportunity will become an example for the rest of the world, proving that even the most broken cities can heal through shared effort and resilience. Batman's evolving legacy, from protector to mentor. Batman's personal journey is not over, but his role as Gotham's sole protector is. He must now shift from being a warrior against crime to becoming a mentor to the next generation of leaders. His legacy is no longer defined by his lone battle in the shadows, but by the lessons he has passed on and the impact he has had on those around him. For Batman, the future is not about fighting external villains. It is about empowering the next generation to lead, ensuring that the principles of justice, compassion, and resilience live on in those who will carry the torch. His role is now to teach, guide, and support, ensuring that Gotham's new leaders understand the importance of justice, not as something imposed from above, but as something created by the collective will of the people. Batman's evolution into a mentor signifies the maturity of Gotham itself. The city has come to understand that true heroism is not defined by the singular efforts of one person, but by the combined actions of many working together. Gotham has learned that justice is not about control, but about fostering growth, opportunity, and healing. Batman's role in this new era is not to hold the city's hand, but to empower it to stand on its own. Gotham sips road ahead, collective responsibility for a just future. Gotham's future will not be without challenges. It is a city that has endured years of corruption, violence, and suffering. But with the right leadership, a commitment to social justice, and a focus on community empowerment, Gotham can emerge as a beacon of hope for the world. The city's path forward will require ongoing effort, persistence, and collaboration. It will take the hard work of both its citizens and its leaders to ensure that the progress made is not lost. Gotham must continue to prioritize its investments in education, social services, and sustainable development while addressing the needs of its most vulnerable populations. Economic justice and opportunities for all its people must remain at the forefront of its recovery. At the same time, Gotham must stay vigilant in maintaining its commitment to restorative justice. The city must continue to build upon the foundation of rehabilitation, mental health services, and community support that has helped to reduce crime and promote healing. Gotham's greatest strength lies not in its ability to fight crime with force, but in its ability to create a society where justice is not just an idea, but a reality for all its citizens. Batman Sip's final act, a legacy of redemption and resilience. Batman's true legacy will not be defined by the criminals he fought, but by the lives he changed and the values he instilled in Gotham. His final act as a mentor and guide is his greatest gift to the city. He teaches Gotham that justice is not about fear, control, or vengeance. It is about resilience, redemption, and the collective strength of a community that refuses to give up. Gotham's transformation from a city of despair to a city of hope is Batman's true legacy. It is a legacy not just of crime fighting and heroism, but of healing, collaboration, and the unwavering belief that change is possible. Batman's journey from a broken man to a mentor mirrors the city's own evolution, showing that redemption is possible for both individuals and communities. As Gotham enters this new chapter, it is not Batman's presence that will define its future. It is the spirit of resilience, unity, and hope that he leaves behind. Gotham's story, like Batman's, is one of transformation, a story that will continue for generations to come. In the end, Gotham will be defined not by the heroes who protected it, but by the citizens who chose to heal, rebuild, and create a future that is just and inclusive for all. As Gotham continues to evolve, its future now lies in the hands of those who have been shaped by the city's long and turbulent history. The citizens, the new generation of heroes, and the leaders who rise from the city's ashes have a unique opportunity to create a society that thrives on principles of equality, compassion, and collective responsibility. The lessons of Gotham's past, its triumphs, its failures, and its healing will guide the next steps in its transformation. The role of Gotham Sip's heroes, leading by example. While Batman's role as Gotham's sole protector has diminished, the city still needs heroes to ensure its continued recovery. Gotham's new generation of crime fighters, those like Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin, and others, are not just continuing Batman's work, they are redefining it. They understand that true heroism is not about individual glory or dominance, but about lifting others up and empowering them to achieve justice. These heroes, raised in Gotham's troubled streets, understand its struggles intimately. They know that the fight for justice is not just about stopping criminals, but about ensuring that the conditions that breed crime are addressed. They will continue to confront the remnants of Gotham's corruption, violence, and inequality, but they will also work to build a city where these issues no longer have a foothold. by fostering strong community relationships, supporting social reform initiatives, and engaging with the people they protect. Gotham's heroes become role models not just in their actions, but in their integrity and commitment to positive change. They lead by example, showing Gotham that true strength lies not in fear and punishment, but in collaboration and the pursuit of shared goals. Strengthening Gotham SIP's institutions, the foundation of justice. For Gotham to maintain its progress, its institutions must evolve as well. The justice system, law enforcement, education, healthcare, and government all need reform to ensure that the benefits of Gotham's recovery reach everyone. The city cannot rely on Batman or any one hero to carry the burden of justice. Instead, Gotham must build institutions that embody the values of fairness, equality, and sustainability. Gotham's police force, once mired in corruption, is now tasked with rebuilding its relationship with the community. By implementing community policing models, emphasizing transparency, and holding officers accountable, Gotham can ensure that its law enforcement is working for the people, not against them. The police must be seen as partners in maintaining public safety, not as a force of oppression. The judicial system must also prioritize rehabilitation over punitive measures, offering opportunities for those who have been incarcerated to reintegrate into society. Restorative justice practices, mental health services, and community-led crime prevention initiatives must be part of the larger strategy to address Gotham's social ills. The ultimate goal is to create a system that not only punishes criminals, but also helps them heal and make amends for their wrongs. Education and healthcare will be crucial to Gotham's continued recovery. Access to quality education and affordable healthcare must be guaranteed for all citizens, particularly those in underserved communities. Gotham's long-standing issues with inequality can only be addressed through long-term investment in its people, ensuring that everyone has the tools they need to succeed and thrive. Creating a culture of hope. Gotham SIP's spirit of unity. As Gotham moves forward, its people must embrace a new culture, one of unity, hope, and collective responsibility. The city's transformation cannot be sustained without the active involvement of its residents. Gotham's citizens, once divided by fear, poverty, and injustice, must now come together to ensure that the progress they've made is not undone. Community engagement, civic participation, and social activism will be the driving forces behind Gotham's future. The people of Gotham must not simply be passive recipients of justice and reform. They must be active participants in creating a better city. Whether through volunteering, voting, or advocating for change, Gotham's citizens must take ownership of their future. A culture of hope must permeate every aspect of Gotham's society. The wounds of the past cannot be forgotten, but they must not define the city's future. Gotham's residents must learn to embrace the city's imperfections while working toward a more just, equitable, and peaceful society. This culture of hope must be nurtured in the city's schools, workplaces, and neighborhoods, ensuring that future generations grow up believing in the possibility of change and the power of community. Global connections. Gotham as a leader in global justice. Gotham's transformation does not end within its borders. As the city recovers, it becomes an important player in the global conversation about justice, equity, and sustainability. Gotham's experience in rebuilding itself from a place of chaos and corruption to a model of hope and resilience can offer valuable lessons to other cities around the world grappling with similar challenges. Gotham's leaders and its heroes will be called upon to share their experiences, collaborate with other cities, and offer guidance on how to overcome systemic issues. As Gotham becomes a beacon of hope for the world, its global influence will grow, and it will play a role in tackling international challenges such as climate change, human rights, and economic inequality. By taking a leadership role in global justice, Gotham can show that true transformation is possible, even in the most unlikely of places. The city will not only continue to work toward its own recovery, but will become a source of inspiration and knowledge for the global community. A legacy of hope. Batman SIP's enduring influence. Batman's role in Gotham's transformation may have evolved, but his legacy remains as strong as ever. He is no longer the city's solitary protector, but his influence continues to shape Gotham's future. The values he instilled, justice, resilience, hope, remain the guiding principles that underpin Gotham's recovery. But Batman's true legacy is not in his physical presence, but in the lessons he imparted, that redemption is possible, that even the most broken cities and people can heal, and that the fight for justice is not a solitary endeavor, but a collective effort. Gotham's new generation of heroes will carry these lessons forward, ensuring that the city's transformation continues long after Batman steps into the shadows. Batman's enduring influence lies not in the fear he inspired, but in the hope he left behind. His journey from a tortured soul seeking vengeance to a mentor guiding the next generation is a testament to the power of change. Gotham, forever marked by his presence, will always be a city defined by resilience, redemption, and the belief that even in the darkest times, hope can rise. As Gotham reaches new heights in its evolution, it becomes clear that the city's future is not simply about maintaining the progress it has made, but about continuing to build on it. Batman's transformation into a mentor, the city's shift toward justice and equality, and the collaborative efforts of its citizens and heroes all point to a future where Gotham is not just surviving but thriving. However, to sustain this growth, Gotham must confront new challenges, both internal and external, that will test the very foundations of its recovery. Adapting to technological change, navigating the digital age. As Gotham's transformation unfolds, the rapid pace of technological advancement presents both opportunities and risks. The rise of artificial intelligence, surveillance technologies, and digital infrastructures could either accelerate Gotham's progress or pose significant threats to privacy, security, and equity. With Batman's history of utilizing technology to combat crime, the city now faces the challenge of ensuring that these same tools are used ethically and responsibly. The digital age brings forth an era where information flows freely and data can be manipulated with ease. Gotham's leaders must navigate the complexities of this new world, ensuring that technological advancements are used to empower its people rather than infringe upon their rights. This includes addressing the growing concerns around digital surveillance, cybersecurity, and the use of personal data by both government and corporate entities. The city must create frameworks that balance security with privacy, innovation with regulation. Gotham's tech sector, once an incubator of crime and corporate greed, can now be harnessed for the greater good by investing in digital literacy, ethical tech development, and policies that promote digital justice. Gotham can ensure that its technological advancements are used to strengthen the community, not divide it. Batman, as a symbol of justice, must evolve with this new technological landscape. While he no longer fights crime alone, his expertise in technology and its ethical use can still guide Gotham's leaders as they seek to harness these innovations. The new generation of heroes, too, will need to be well-versed in the digital world, understanding how to use technology to fight for justice while safeguarding the freedoms that make Gotham's recovery possible. Economic justice and equity, ensuring a fair future for all. Despite the progress Gotham has made, the issue of economic inequality remains a significant challenge. For Gotham to truly become a city of hope, opportunity, and justice, its economic systems must be reimagined to prioritize equity and fairness. The wealth disparity that has defined the city for decades continues to threaten the stability of its growth. The city must prioritize inclusive economic policies that ensure every citizen has access to the resources needed to succeed. From affordable housing to equal access to quality education, health care, and employment opportunities, Gotham's leaders must work to eliminate the barriers that have long kept its poorest residents from reaching their full potential. A key aspect of this economic shift will be fostering small businesses, community-driven enterprises, and social innovation. Gotham's economy must be diversified to ensure that wealth is not concentrated in the hands of a few, but is distributed more equitably across all neighborhoods. By investing in local economies and providing support to marginalized communities, Gotham can create a more resilient and self-sufficient city. Batman's role in this transformation is not just about fighting crime, but advocating for systemic changes that address the root causes of poverty and inequality. As Gotham's heroes continue to evolve, they must recognize that true justice goes beyond fighting criminals. It involves dismantling the systems that perpetuate injustice in the first place. Environmental sustainability. Building a green Gotham. As Gotham grows and recovers, it must embrace the future with a commitment to sustainability. Climate change, resource depletion, and environmental degradation are global challenges that cannot be ignored. Gotham, with its resources and growing tech sector, has the potential to be a leader in the push for sustainable urban living. Gotham's transformation must include a shift toward green infrastructure, renewable energy, and sustainable urban planning. The city must prioritize environmentally friendly building practices, reduce its carbon footprint, and promote green spaces that provide both ecological benefits and mental health improvements for its residents. Urban farming. Public transportation that reduces reliance on fossil fuels, and eco-friendly waste management systems must be integrated into the city's design. The rise of new green technologies, including solar power, wind energy, and electric transportation, presents an opportunity for Gotham to lead the way in creating a sustainable, environmentally conscious urban center. By championing green technologies and implementing policies that support sustainability, Gotham can not only become a model for other cities, but also play a vital role in combating the global climate crisis. The legacy of Gotham CIP's heroes, leading with integrity and compassion. As Batman transitions from a solitary protector to a mentor, his role in Gotham's future is now defined by guidance, support, and shared leadership. The new generation of Gotham's heroes must not only fight crime but lead with integrity and compassion, embodying the values that Batman has instilled in them. The future of Gotham depends on its heroes, understanding that justice is not just about physical force, but about empathy, communication, and understanding. These new leaders must be willing to confront not only the villains who threaten Gotham, but also the systems of inequality, discrimination, and injustice that have long plagued the city. Their heroism will be measured by their ability to inspire hope, foster collaboration, and work with Gotham's people to create a more just society. In this new era, Gotham's heroes will also be community leaders, mentoring the next generation. advocating for social change, and becoming champions of justice in all its forms. They must learn to work together, combining their unique strengths and talents to protect Gotham and ensure that its recovery is not just about defeating crime, but about addressing the root causes of Gotham's struggles. Gotham's future, a city defined by resilience and growth. Gotham's future is bright, but it requires the continued commitment of every citizen, every leader, and every hero. The city has learned that healing is a collective effort, and that its strength lies not in any single person, but in the unity and resilience of its people. Batman's role as a mentor and symbol of hope continues to inspire, but Gotham's true recovery will come from its citizens, who now understand that they have the power to shape the city's future. With its foundation rooted in justice, equality, sustainability, and innovation, Gotham is on track to become a model for other cities around the world. Its journey from darkness to light is a testament to the power of transformation, and the world will watch as Gotham leads the charge in creating a more just and equitable society. The legacy of Batman lives on in every act of kindness, every effort to create a fairer world, and every moment that Gotham's citizens rise above adversity. As the city continues to grow, it will no longer be defined by the shadows of its past, but by the collective strength of its people. Gotham's future is one of limitless possibilities, a city built on the shared values of hope, justice, and resilience. As Gotham transitions into its next phase of development, the challenge becomes not just sustaining its growth, but ensuring that the values of justice, inclusivity, and sustainability remain at the heart of everything the city does. With the foundation laid, it's time for Gotham to turn its attention to the future, tackling new challenges head-on and further cementing its place as a model for urban recovery and progress. The true test will be how Gotham continues to balance its evolving identity, its expanding role on the global stage, and its commitment to the principles that have guided its transformation. The ongoing battle for equity, ensuring lasting social justice. One of Gotham's greatest challenges moving forward is ensuring that its progress towards social justice remains inclusive and far-reaching. The battle for equity is an ongoing effort, and the city must remain vigilant against the forces that seek to divide it. Gotham's transformation, while monumental, cannot be considered complete until it has fully addressed the systemic inequality that has plagued its residents for generations. In the past, Gotham's heroes fought on the front lines, battling visible manifestations of inequality, crime, poverty, corruption. But the true fight for justice now lies in addressing the more subtle, institutionalized forms of oppression that continue to affect many of Gotham's communities. Economic disparity, racial injustice, and unequal access to opportunities still define many neighborhoods. For Gotham's recovery to be truly sustainable, the city must focus on dismantling these barriers and ensuring that every citizen, regardless of their background, has equal access to the resources needed to succeed. This requires more than just policy reforms. It requires a cultural shift. Gotham must foster a citywide movement that prioritizes inclusivity, celebrates diversity, and supports marginalized communities. The work Batman began by fighting for Gotham's safety now expands to fighting for its fairness. This effort will involve collaboration with community leaders, activists, and organizations who are already working on the ground to fight injustice. These grassroots movements, supported by Gotham's heroes, will be crucial in ensuring that social equity remains at the forefront of the city's recovery. Technological innovation for good, advancing Gotham CIP's future with responsibility. The rapid advancement of technology presents a new frontier for Gotham. From smart city technologies to artificial intelligence, Gotham's future will depend on how it integrates these innovations into the city's development, but the potential for progress must be balanced with ethical considerations. The lessons learned from Batman's use of technology, particularly his surveillance methods, are critical as Gotham moves forward. The city must ensure that technology is used to improve lives, enhance social services, and protect the environment without compromising individual rights or freedoms. As the digital age unfolds, Gotham must remain committed to ensuring privacy, security, and justice in the face of rapidly evolving technologies. The city must build infrastructure that allows citizens to harness the power of technology in ways that benefit society as a whole, while protecting vulnerable populations from digital exploitation and misuse. This includes promoting innovations in green technology, sustainable urban development, and public health. Gotham has the opportunity to become a leader in tech-driven solutions to climate change, economic inequality, and social justice. By fostering a tech ecosystem that encourages ethical innovation, Gotham can show the world how cities can thrive through technological advancements while maintaining a commitment to the common good. Batman's legacy of using technology for good, particularly in his crime-fighting tools, must inform how Gotham approaches the ethical use of technology in the future. Gotham's new generation of leaders and heroes will need to navigate this terrain carefully, ensuring that the city remains a model for responsible, sustainable innovation. Education is the cornerstone of Gotham City's future. For Gotham's recovery to be fully realized, education must be at the heart of its future. The city has long struggled with disparities in education, where access to quality schooling and opportunities for advancement were often limited to those in more privileged areas. As Gotham's recovery continues, it must make education a universal right and ensure that every child, no matter their background, has the tools and opportunities to succeed. Education is the key to breaking the cycles of poverty, crime, and disenfranchisement that have defined many parts of Gotham. The next generation must be equipped with not only the basic skills necessary for success, but also the critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and empathy needed to build a better future for the city. Schools must be places of growth, creativity, and community, where young people can not only learn but also engage in social justice and environmental initiatives that directly impact their neighborhoods. The role of education extends beyond the classroom. Gotham must invest in vocational programs, skills training, and community education initiatives to ensure that its citizens are prepared for the modern workforce. Furthermore, Gotham's tech sector and innovation hubs must collaborate with schools and universities to ensure that the next generation is prepared to tackle global challenges and continue the city's transformation in the years to come. Education also plays a key role in healing Gotham's deep social divisions. By fostering an inclusive educational environment that celebrates diversity, teaches empathy, and values social responsibility, Gotham can build a culture that embraces unity, healing, and collective action. The young people of Gotham will inherit the city's future, and it's essential that they be equipped with the knowledge, skills, and values needed to continue the work of building a just and sustainable society. A new generation of heroes, carrying the torch of justice. As Gotham looks to the future, the next generation of heroes will play a vital role in continuing the city's legacy of justice and hope. Batman may no longer be the lone figure in the shadows, but his influence endures through those he mentored and the lessons he imparted to Gotham's future protectors. The city is no longer dependent on one person to save it. It is now a city where every citizen has a part to play in its recovery. The young heroes rising in Gotham are not just motivated by a desire for vengeance or justice, but by the understanding that true heroism involves empathy, collaboration, and the willingness to confront systemic issues. Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin, and others represent the diverse, multifaceted future of Gotham's crime fighters. Heroes who understand that protecting Gotham means more than just stopping crime. It means healing the wounds of the past and building a society based on justice, equity, and opportunity. This new generation of heroes is not defined by their weapons or gadgets, but by their commitment to moral integrity and their understanding that their role in Gotham's recovery extends beyond physical protection. They are leaders, advocates, and role models who will continue Batman's mission, but in ways that are more inclusive and forward-thinking. Their fight is not just for Gotham's survival, it is for its thriving future. Gotham SIP's future, a city that heals, grows, and inspires. Gotham's story is one of resilience, redemption, and hope. From the depths of darkness, the city has risen, and it continues to evolve, learning from the past and embracing the future with optimism and determination. Batman's legacy, while crucial in the city's recovery, is now just one chapter in Gotham's ongoing journey toward healing and growth. The city will no longer be defined by its crime, corruption, or fear. Gotham's future is one of shared responsibility, where every citizen, every hero, and every leader plays a role in shaping the city's destiny. The legacy of Batman, along with the collective efforts of Gotham's people, will ensure that the city remains a beacon of hope, not just for Gotham, but for the world. Gotham's transformation is a model for others to follow, a shining example of what can be achieved when a city comes together to confront its challenges and build a more just, equitable, and sustainable future. As Gotham's recovery continues to unfold, the future of the city is marked by the intersection of tradition and innovation. While the city has made tremendous strides in overcoming its past, the true challenge lies in maintaining this progress and facing new, unforeseen challenges. As Gotham matures into a beacon of hope, it will need to stay ahead of evolving global issues, shifting social landscapes, and the inevitable threats that come with growth. However, there is hope that Gotham will not only survive these challenges, but emerge stronger, more unified, and more resilient. Adapting to a changing global landscape, Gotham SIP's role in a complex world. In an increasingly interconnected world, Gotham cannot afford to remain isolated in its own recovery. The challenges of the modern age, climate change, economic instability, social unrest, and technological disruptions require cities like Gotham to collaborate globally and adapt to shifting dynamics. The city's leaders must be forward-thinking, recognizing that Gotham's role on the world stage is more important than ever. For Gotham to thrive, it must build strategic alliances with other cities and nations. Whether addressing global issues like climate change, terrorism, or human rights abuses, Gotham must position itself as a city that leads by example. The lessons learned from Gotham's own recovery, how to rebuild from within, how to embrace justice and equity, can be shared with the world. This global perspective also presents a unique opportunity for Gotham to diversify its economy, invest in sustainable industries, and contribute to international efforts. By creating partnerships with tech innovators, green energy companies, and global human rights organizations, Gotham can extend its reach and ensure that it not only addresses local issues, but also plays an active role in solving global challenges. Strengthening Gotham's civic institutions. building trust and accountability. One of the most important aspects of Gotham's continued evolution is strengthening its civic institutions. For decades, the city's institutions, its government, its law enforcement, its judicial system have been plagued by corruption and inefficiency. As Gotham moves toward a brighter future, it must rebuild trust in these institutions and ensure that they work for the benefit of all citizens, not just the powerful. Gotham's government, now rebuilt with transparency and accountability, must foster an inclusive approach to decision-making, ensuring that all communities have a voice in how the city is governed. This includes creating policies that support vulnerable populations, addressing systemic inequality, and promoting civic engagement. Civic education and community-led decision-making processes will be crucial in ensuring that Gotham citizens feel empowered to take ownership of their city's future. Similarly, law enforcement must be reformed to prioritize community safety and justice. Gotham's police force, now tasked with healing from its own history of corruption, must work to build positive relationships with the communities it serves. This requires a commitment to fairness, transparency, and the elimination of discriminatory practices. By working alongside social workers, mental health professionals, and community leaders, the police can help create safer and more just neighborhoods. A vision for sustainable growth. Gotham as a model for urban planning. As Gotham grows, it must do so sustainably, focusing on urban development that balances the needs of its people with the demands of a rapidly changing environment. Gotham's future cannot rely on the same urban planning practices that fueled its past, practices that often prioritized profit over people and growth over sustainability. The city must now embrace green building initiatives, sustainable energy solutions, and responsible land use to ensure that it grows in a way that protects the environment and promotes the well-being of its residents. This shift in urban planning will require innovation and collaboration. Gotham's architects, engineers, and urban planners must work with environmental scientists, community organizers, and public health experts to design a city that is both livable and sustainable. From renewable energy sources to green spaces, Gotham must become a model of how urban centers can thrive without compromising the health of the planet. The city's new tech industry, now focused on solutions for social good, can play a major role in developing smart city technologies that enhance efficiency, reduce waste, and promote a greener future. This approach to urban planning will also require a shift in the way Gotham's residents think about their city. It is not enough to simply improve the infrastructure or provide public services. Gotham must become a city that values sustainability in every aspect of its design, from its transportation systems to its waste management, from its housing developments to its public parks. Economic innovation, building an inclusive and thriving economy. As Gotham's recovery progresses, the city must ensure that its economic growth benefits all residents, not just a select few. Gotham's history has been marked by stark inequalities, and while the city has made strides toward justice, economic disparity remains a persistent issue. The future of Gotham depends on creating an economy that is inclusive and equitable, offering opportunities for all its citizens, regardless of their socio-economic background. This means fostering small businesses, supporting entrepreneurs, and creating opportunities for people to build wealth. Gotham's new focus on innovation and sustainability can be harnessed to create green jobs, technology-driven industries, and social enterprises that prioritize people over profits. The city's tech sector, once a source of corruption, can now be a force for good, creating solutions that improve quality of life, address social issues, and provide economic mobility for marginalized communities. Gotham's financial institutions must also undergo reform. They must prioritize ethical investing, support local businesses, and ensure that economic opportunities are accessible to all, not just those in affluent neighborhoods. This requires a commitment to financial literacy programs, affordable housing initiatives, and equitable access to capital for small businesses and underserved communities. By creating an inclusive economy, Gotham can ensure that its future is built on a foundation of economic justice and opportunity. This will help prevent the cycles of poverty and inequality that have plagued the city for so long, and ensure that all its residents have the tools they need to succeed. The future of Gotham SIP's heroes. A new legacy. The future of Gotham's heroes lies not just in their ability to fight crime, but in their role as leaders, mentors, and community pillars. As the city heals, Gotham's heroes will evolve from vigilantes to advocates for systemic change. They will not only confront criminals, but will also work alongside the city's institutions to promote justice, equality, and sustainable development. Batman's legacy lives on through the heroes he has mentored, heroes who now embody the lessons of hope, compassion, and resilience. But these new protectors of Gotham will need to move beyond the tactics of fear and isolation that once defined Batman's mission. They must work with Gotham's people to create a safer, more just city, one where justice is not just a concept enforced by a few, but a practice embraced by everyone. As the city continues to grow and evolve, these heroes must adapt to the changing nature of crime, technology, and society. Their role is not just to defend Gotham, but to help shape its future, ensuring that the city remains a place where all people can thrive, where justice is accessible to everyone, and where hope never fades. As Gotham moves further into its new era, it is clear that the city's transformation is not just about structural reform, but about nurturing a culture that embodies the values it seeks to promote. This cultural shift will require time, dedication, and the active participation of everyone, heroes, leaders, and ordinary citizens alike. Gotham's future is not just about fighting crime, it's about healing from the wounds of the past and building a society that fosters mutual respect, empathy, and justice for all. Rebuilding Gotham's social fabric, empowering the community. At the heart of Gotham's evolution lies the concept of community. For too long, the citizens of Gotham have lived in fear, distrust, and division. The transformation of Gotham cannot succeed unless the social fabric of the city is mended, bringing together people from all walks of life, all neighborhoods, and all backgrounds. This is where the real work begins. Gotham's community leaders, activists, educators, social workers, and faith-based organizations must be at the forefront of this cultural shift. They will play a key role in creating programs that engage the people of Gotham, offering opportunities for people to connect, collaborate, and work together toward common goals. This will require community outreach, education, and engagement to ensure that every citizen feels empowered to contribute to the city's growth. The future of Gotham lies in collective action. Every citizen must take ownership of the city's transformation. Whether through participating in local community groups, volunteering for social causes, or advocating for positive change, Gotham's people must come together to create a society that reflects the principles of justice, compassion, and opportunity. By focusing on the social and cultural aspects of Gotham's recovery, the city can foster a sense of belonging and unity where every individual has a stake in the city's success. This sense of community ownership will ensure that Gotham's recovery is not just institutional but deeply rooted in the hearts and minds of its residents. Building resilience. Gotham SIP's response to future threats. While Gotham has made great strides in overcoming its past challenges, the city must be prepared for new and emerging threats that may test its resilience. As the world continues to evolve, so too do the risks facing urban centers like Gotham, from climate change to cyber threats, economic instability, and even global political tensions. Gotham must build the capacity to face these challenges head-on. The city's leadership must focus on strengthening its infrastructure to adapt to these evolving threats. This means investing in disaster preparedness, climate resilience, and cybersecurity. Gotham must also continue to innovate in how it deals with social and economic disruptions, ensuring that its systems can adapt and evolve as needed. The heroes of Gotham, now more attuned to the interconnectedness of their city and the world, must play a role in this forward-thinking approach. While crime fighting will always be a part of their mission, they must also work as advocates for systemic resilience, helping to shape policies that promote sustainability, protect against external threats, and ensure that Gotham remains adaptable in the face of uncertainty. This adaptability is what will define Gotham's future. It will not simply be a city that survives in times of crisis. It will be a city that thrives, growing stronger and more unified with every challenge it faces. Mental health and well-being. Gotham's SEP's healing continues. Gotham's recovery is deeply intertwined with the mental health of its citizens. For decades, the trauma suffered by Gotham's people, whether from violence, poverty, or social injustice, has gone largely unaddressed. Healing cannot be complete until Gotham addresses its mental health crisis, supporting those who have experienced trauma and ensuring that mental health services are accessible to everyone. This will require both public and private sector collaboration. Gotham's healthcare system must expand to include robust mental health services that are available to all, regardless of socioeconomic status. Programs focused on trauma recovery, addiction treatment, and mental wellness must be integrated into the city's broader public health initiatives. Furthermore, Batman's legacy, his own struggles with grief, loss, and mental health, must be incorporated into Gotham's approach to healing. While he was a symbol of strength, he also served as a reminder that even the strongest people need help and support. Batman's journey of emotional healing can be a guiding example for the city, showing that vulnerability is not weakness, but a crucial aspect of resilience and recovery. For Gotham's heroes, mental health and self-care will become integral parts of their mission. They must model healthy emotional practices, encouraging those they protect to seek help when needed, and teaching the city that healing is a shared responsibility. By prioritizing mental well-being, Gotham can create a community that is strong not only physically but emotionally, ensuring that its recovery is holistic and sustainable. A future built on hope, inspiring the next generation. Perhaps Gotham's most lasting legacy will be its ability to inspire future generations. The recovery of the city is not just about fixing the past, it is about setting the stage for a future where young people grow up believing that anything is possible. Gotham must become a city where hope is not a fleeting sentiment, but a way of life. The next generation of Gotham's residents must see the city not as a place defined by its history of crime and corruption, but as a place where justice is a reality, opportunity is abundant, and dreams can be realized. To do this, Gotham's leaders, including its heroes, must focus on education, mentorship, and empowerment, creating pathways for young people to succeed. The message to Gotham's youth is clear. They are not just inheriting a city, they are inheriting the responsibility to make it better. The work of heroes like Batman and the people who fought for Gotham's recovery will serve as a foundation for this new generation. Gotham's future is not just about what happens in the next decade, but about creating a city that will flourish for generations to come. The enduring symbol of Batman, a legacy of justice and hope. As Gotham continues to heal, Batman's legacy remains an enduring symbol of what is possible when one person decides to take a stand against injustice. Batman's journey was never about achieving perfection. It was about the relentless pursuit of justice and the understanding that even the darkest places can be transformed through resilience, hope, and collective action. Batman's ultimate legacy is the city that he helped create, a Gotham that is no longer defined by its crime, but by its hope, unity, and resilience. His legacy lives on in the heroes that continue his mission, in the institutions that are being rebuilt, and in the hearts of Gotham's citizens, who now understand that justice is not just a word, but a collective goal. Gotham's future, shaped by the sacrifices and lessons of the past, is now in the hands of its people. The work of Batman continues through every act of kindness, every effort to fight for justice, and every step Gotham takes toward healing. The city will never forget the hero who helped bring it back from the brink, but it is now ready to forge its own path, one of opportunity, justice, and enduring hope. As Gotham stands at the threshold of a new era, its transformation from a city of despair to a beacon of hope is a testament to the resilience, unity, and unwavering commitment of its people. The journey that Batman began, driven by trauma, vengeance, and an unyielding desire for justice, has evolved into something greater. Gotham's future now lies in the hands of its citizens, heroes, leaders, and everyday people who have embraced the shared responsibility of building a better city. Gotham's recovery, though hard-earned, is not just about crime fighting or the rebuilding of infrastructure. It is about the collective will of a community that has chosen hope over fear, unity over division, and justice over vengeance. The work that Batman began is now a collaborative effort, with the city's new generation of leaders, both in and out of costume, carrying forward the lessons of resilience, empathy, and community building. From social justice reforms to economic equality, from sustainability initiatives to technological innovation, Gotham is no longer defined by the shadows of its past, but by the strength of its future. The city's commitment to mental health, educational opportunity, and civic engagement ensures that it continues to grow in a way that is inclusive and just for all its residents. Gotham is becoming a city where everyone, regardless of their background, has the opportunity to thrive. Batman's legacy, built on the ideals of justice, hope, and the belief that change is possible, will always remain at the heart of Gotham's evolution. Yet, Gotham's true strength lies not in the figure of one man, but in the collective efforts of its people. Batman's evolution from protector to mentor is a reflection of the city's own journey, from a place where individuals stood alone in the shadows to one where everyone stands together in the light. The global stage now looks to Gotham, not just for its crime-fighting prowess, but for the lessons it has learned in rebuilding a broken city. Gotham's influence, built on its experience of transformation, will guide cities around the world seeking to overcome their own challenges. It will serve as a model of what is possible when a community embraces its shared responsibility, works together for justice, and refuses to let its past define its future. Ultimately, Gotham's future is a reflection of its soul. It is a city that has faced its darkness and emerged into the light, stronger, wiser, and more united than ever before. Batman may have been the symbol of hope for Gotham, but now Gotham itself has become the symbol of resilience, transformation, and the belief that even in the face of the greatest adversity, redemption is possible. As Gotham continues to grow, heal, and inspire, its greatest triumph lies not in defeating external enemies, but in conquering the internal struggles that once threatened to destroy it. Gotham's future is not just one of survival, it is one of thriving, of creating a city where justice, compassion, and opportunity are available to all. Gotham is no longer a city defined by its struggles, but by the strength, hope, and unity of its people. It is a city reborn, and its story is just beginning.